It is possible for your side hustle to replace your day job, but you gotta pick the right ones. Side hustles come in 3 levels. Level 1 are jobs that basically anyone can do and require very little thought. You'll probably get a few dollars here or there, but you'll never make it to millions with these. The best example of this is online surveys. Level 2 are things that can make you some extra cash but have a hard time scaling. That's because how much money you make is directly tied to your time. Yes, it is easy to get started and does pay more than level 1, but getting to millions of dollars is almost impossible. Driving for Uber or delivering food with DoorDash would fall into this category. Level 3 are things that require some advanced knowledge, discipline, patience, and most importantly, a good product. But these side hustles can scale, which means that you're not limited by how much money you can make. These can turn into full-blown businesses, and yes, this is where the real money is made. Now, most side hustle videos just give you a list of ideas and a quick overview, but if you really want to take one of these to the next level and achieve massive success, you've got to get some sort of advantage, and this video provides that advantage. I've researched all of these top tier side hustles, and I've even attempted some of them myself. So I'm not only giving you side hustle ideas, I'm going to give you what the experts are saying works for people who want to do this at the highest level, and I'll tell you who those experts are so you can learn even more from them. And I'm giving you my personal experience with these so you can learn from my mistakes and my progress. Before we really get into it, I do want to warn you, this is hard, and you will not be successful unless you go all in. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort before we're breaking $1,000 a day, but I do believe that anyone can do it. I know the reward is worth it, and if you commit to constantly improving and commit to never quitting, well, the only thing left to do is figure out what your side hustle is going to be. Let's get into side hustle number 1, YouTube channel. The potential for profit here is massive. $1,000 a day is $365,000 a year in income. Top content creators that I personally watch are making well more than $1 million a year just from AdSense alone. Most of them have videos where they're very public with their YouTube stats, but I'll save you the time and show you their AdSense revenue here. By the way, this doesn't include affiliate marketing profits and sponsorship deals. Of course, there's no such thing as an overnight success, so here's what the experts say. YouTube success comes down to the fundamentals. If you have a good idea, a good title and thumbnail combination, and a good video, you'll get views. It sounds so simple, but of course, there's so much more to it. Your content is only going to go viral if the algorithm pushes the content to new viewers. This may seem like it's unfair, but we have to change the word algorithm to audience. YouTube's job is to put the best videos for the audience in the front and center. It's our job to put the best videos, titles, and thumbnails on the platform. The hard truth is that if you go down this path, you will be competing with the best of the best, and you'll always find something to improve. But that's the beauty of YouTube. Your videos can always get better, and best of all, they live here forever. So there's a chance that your content can be seen years from now and still bring in passive income for you, which for the most part doesn't exist on any other platform. Eventually, as you develop a reputation for yourself as a content creator, new ways of making money open up. AdSense is nice, but there's also affiliate marketing, sponsorships, and because you have a platform, you can even advertise your own products. If you're serious about YouTube, you'll want to learn more from Roberto Blake, vidIQ, and Think Media. They're great resources, especially for beginners. From my experience, YouTube creators of any skill level have to accept that this is a long game, and that your first videos probably aren't going to get any views. But eventually, you find yourself getting better over time, YouTube starts to learn what your content is and who likes to watch it, and you start to slowly see success. Remember, success is front-loaded with a lot of risk and a lot of work, but eventually as time goes on, that work and risk get less and the rewards start increasing exponentially. As you make more videos, you get an idea of what your viewers do and don't want to see, and you can start making content based around ideas that seem to be working. So experiment a little bit, but don't forget, this is for the viewer. You can also use ideas from other creators that work out well by checking out which videos of theirs get the most views. A good rule of thumb is if you see a fellow creator in your niche happen to have a video that did really well, take the idea and try to make it better in some way. And be sure to add your own expertise to it as well. Bottom line, get started, improve your videos every time, and give the people what they want. It might take some time to get right, but when you do, it'll be worth it. I mean, I'm doing it, why can't you? Our second side hustle is writing on X. A long time ago, Twitter was a place where the smartest people on the internet were in a constant conversation. Now it's rebranded to X, and it's giving part of the ad revenue to top creators. The potential for profit here, in my opinion, has no upper end. Creators are already profiting from ad revenue. I think X has some lofty goals, but the guy in charge seems to know how to get things done. So you might be really early on to the next big thing. Even if you don't get any ad revenue, an account on X is basically a personal billboard. You can use this to funnel people to things you're offering, like an online course, digital products, or even other social media platforms that you are monetized on. Being a content creator on X is both easier and harder than YouTube. It's easier because by and large, X is still a text-based platform. It's a whole lot easier to just have to type your ideas without having to worry about filming and editing an entire video, but it's also harder in two ways. The first is the monetization requirements are rather high, so this can really keep newcomers from entering into the space. I would still encourage someone to try and build a presence on X though, because if your content is valuable enough, it will be recognized, and the barriers for monetization are not an issue for highly valuable content creators. You will never know if that is you if you never try, and you can always improve with your next post every single time. In addition, X is a place where things happen quickly. Depending on your content niche, you'll probably need to be more up to date within minutes rather than hours or days, so keep that in mind. So what do the experts say? I've read that some creators say they grew on X by posting consistently. Some creators suggest posting one long format thread a week and posting shorter content 1 to 3 times a day. They also say to engage in a meaningful way with bigger accounts in the space, like commenting on and retweeting their posts. Naturally, this will draw more eyes to your profile and help you get a following. If you're serious on growing on X, I would check out the YouTube channel Hype Fury. Their new content is geared towards growing on the X platform specifically, and there aren't too many people out there making content on YouTube for this just yet. So I think anyone going this route is still early, and that's a huge opportunity. From my personal experience, like most things, X takes time, consistency, and an emphasis on value for the reader, and that's pretty much how you grow. X does allow some photos and videos to be uploaded as well, so visual aids really help with engagement for your audience, but it also helps people understand what you're talking about, so that's how you can separate yourself. Our third side hustle is Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. People are making hundreds and even thousands in passive income from a digital book they created one time, and they don't even have to print or ship it themselves. This is because with Amazon KDP, someone can upload a book design and Amazon takes care of the rest of the process for them. Amazon will sell the book, print it, ship it, and give the creator royalties when a book is sold. For my research, experts generally say that it all comes down to if you have a product that people want to buy. You can't just throw up some AI-generated nonsense and hope to get millions of dollars, but what you can do is use AI to do the heavy lifting and spend that extra time and energy coming up with more creative or new ways to develop a product. The best kind of books entertain and educate. That doesn't mean you have to write hundreds of pages to make a book. You can create coloring books, activity books, journals, planners. The limit really doesn't exist. How you separate yourself is by making an attractive design, fill it with good content, optimize for search, pick the right keywords, consider running ads, and you're much more likely to make sales. If you're really serious about Amazon KDP, check out Sean Dalwett and Paul Marles. They were great resources of information for my personal KDP experiments, and I think they'll be great resources for your side hustle as well. From my experience, it's best to look at what is already selling well and find something that you can just recreate. But you're not just going to copy someone else. You're going to improve on it. The reviews for products already selling well are a great area to learn how to make a product better. Then you charge less for it, and once your sales and good reviews start coming in, then you can increase your price as your reviews can back up the product. Another strategy is to find what customers are looking for using various search tools and meet the demand. This might take some time to get right, but if you find yourself in a position to be the only person selling a product people are looking for, you've probably found yourself making a few dollars along the way. Our next side hustle is an Etsy store. Most really successful Etsy store accounts have been around for a few years, but it's clear that the success story involved a lot of money. Generally speaking, when it comes to Etsy, experts say a lot, but for beginners, there's two paths you can go down: custom products or print on demand. Custom products are pretty straightforward. You tap into your unique creative artistic ability, put it online for sale, and ship it off when sales come in. With print on demand, you upload a digital design on a template, list it for sale, and your customer orders the product. All the printing, shipping, and inventory handling is done by a company, and you get a cut of the sale when it's made. The experts will tell you a few things to get those first few sales. First, sell products people want. In fact, the print-on-demand sites will literally tell you what sells. Spoiler alert, it's coffee mugs, t-shirts, and a few other things. You're also not going to want to limit yourself creatively. Any design you come up with could get a sale, and sometimes it's not what you expect. So putting more products up for sale can get you more sales. And make sure your listings look appropriate. If you're selling on Etsy, your product pictures and descriptions need to have a certain look. Otherwise, people simply won't buy it. It's just human psychology. If you're really serious about selling on Etsy, check out Alec Sheffy. He's got some amazing content for this side hustle, and he really helped me out when I was working on my Etsy store. A little while ago, I challenged myself to make a full Etsy store in 1 week, starting with zero experience. I created over 70 designs for greeting cards and got a ton of experience. That store has made 0 sales, But even so, the best thing a beginner could do is get started, because that's the hardest part. If I were to spend the time creating more designs and optimizing my designs for Etsy, I think I could get that first sale relatively quickly. But I am waiting a bit because my products are seasonal, nobody buys Christmas cards in the summer, and I'll be giving the store a little more time before I make any big changes. Our next side hustle is making music and uploading it to Spotify. It's pretty obvious that famous people in the music business make a lot of money, but these days you don't need to go audition for a shot at the big time. The experts in the music industry seem to be in agreement that things are very different than what they once were. Streaming services and social media, specifically TikTok, have really changed the game. From my observations, it's pretty clear that talent is required, but it seems to be easier than ever for new artists to showcase their work. In fact, most of my new songs on my playlist have come from me discovering them on TikTok, and a few of them weren't even on Spotify when I found them. In fact, in some cases, the artist literally said the song wasn't finished or it was just an experiment. These days, an artist can make a small part of a song, upload it, get feedback from fans, and then finish the song. It takes some time to get it onto Spotify to actually be able to make money from the streams, but this method has serious advantages. TikTok lets an artist distribute their music for free. The artist gets feedback from fans so they know what songs they should focus on developing further, and because the song is catchy, the posts only build hype for the release. Once it's released on Spotify, that creator gets paid per stream, and by doing this enough times, the artist can generate significant passive income. Some independent artists are literally getting millions of streams on their Spotify accounts, which, even though the payouts per stream are literally fractions of pennies, those pennies add up. This also opens the door for labels to sign the artist and get bookings to play shows, which just means more revenue. If you're really serious about making music, the best expert, in my opinion, is actually yourself. The best musical talents are original and one of a kind. Start experimenting and releasing what you think is good, and be open to feedback from your fans. Something you could easily do is get on TikTok and start creating with other musicians. Sometimes they will literally tell you to use their sound. I'm not much of a musician, so I have very little experience here, but I do recognize the powerhouse that Spotify and TikTok can be when combined for new artists. Our last side hustle, streaming. Some of the contracts large streamers have with platforms like Twitch are in the millions, so the money is here. Beginners have two paths: expert or entertainer. If you're a top-tier elite player of a popular online game and you start streaming, you'll get views. People want to watch people who are good at video games. If you're not gifted with the ability to crush everyone else on command, your other option is to be an entertainer. Everyone is playing the same game. They might get lured in because they're interested in the game, but they stay and come back for you. Some of you out there have magnetic personalities and a story to share. People are looking to connect, and if you're willing to put yourself out there in a unique and creative way, you could find success streaming. Experts say a lot about streaming, but the one thing I've heard that sounded the best was to niche down. There's a ton of competition in the space for big games, but smaller games that don't really get a lot of attention have a fan base too, and that can lead viewers to your content. From there, you can build an audience and expand as you get further along. If you're serious about streaming, a great resource is Senpai Gaming, and I learned a ton from what products to use, what was actually worth buying, and how to set up stuff for a stream. Great stuff over there. For me, when I did stream and create gaming content, the one thing I would suggest everyone do is focus most of your time on generating content for TikTok. The biggest problem with streaming is that there is basically zero discoverability. So in order to get viewers who want to watch your stream, you have to give them a reason to actually come and watch. They don't know who you are. So if you leverage social media and essentially create content, preferably from your stream, like funny moments or other cool things you did in game, and post it for them to find, they might come over. So in summary, none of these are get-rich-quick schemes, but it seems that normal people are getting extraordinary results from them. So pick one, give it your all, and let me know what happens in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you found it valuable. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.